The fork slipped from my hand. Not dropped, slipped. Like my fingers had just forgotten how to work. It hit the plate with a sharp clang that cut straight through the conversation. Too loud, too sudden. Every head at the table turned toward me at once. And that's when I realized I couldn't feel my hands. At all. But before we continue, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell for updates. Have you ever tried to move your fingers and nothing happens? No response, no strength. Just this hollow, disconnected feeling like your body isn't yours anymore. Yeah, that. My chest. I tried to say it. Tried to say anything. Nothing came out. My throat tightened. My lungs felt smaller, like the air in the room had thinned without warning. Across the table, a woman I barely knew, Clara, I think, pushed her chair back suddenly. "Call someone. Now!" Her voice cracked. Urgent. Real. For a second, relief hit me. Good. Someone sees it. Someone's going to help. No. My mom's voice cut through everything. Calm. Sharp. Final. "She's fine." Fine? I turned my eyes toward her, because that's all I could move now. Just my eyes. And what I saw didn't make sense. She wasn't panicking. She wasn't even surprised. She was watching me. Carefully. Like she was waiting. Why would she say that? Why would she stop them? My chair shifted under me as my body leaned sideways without permission. The table edge pressed into my arm, but I couldn't feel that either. Someone whispered, "She doesn't look fine." Another voice, "This isn't normal." They knew it. I knew it. So why didn't my mom move? Why didn't she even stand up? The room went quiet. Not the normal kind of quiet. The kind that feels heavy, controlled, like everyone's waiting for something to happen. And then, the front door creaked open. No knock, no warning, just the slow, deliberate sound of someone stepping inside. Footsteps, measured, unhurried. They stopped right behind me. I couldn't turn my head, couldn't see clearly, but I felt it. Someone standing there, watching me. Then he moved into view. A man. Tall, serious, his eyes locked onto mine, and he froze. Not confused, not surprised. Recognizing. His expression changed instantly. "What did you—" He didn't even finish the sentence because in that exact moment, my mom went completely still, silent. And for the first time all night, she looked unsure. I couldn't move, but I could still hear everything. And honestly, that might have been worse. Because once you can't react, can't speak, can't even lift your head, you're just stuck there, listening, trapped inside your own body while everyone else decides what happens next. "What did you give her?" The man's voice was sharper now, controlled but barely. Give me? That word echoed louder than anything else. I tried to piece things together, but my thoughts felt slow, like they were dragging through mud. This didn't just happen. Something caused it. And deep down, I think I already knew what. Just an hour earlier, everything had felt off. Not obviously wrong, but weird enough that I noticed. My mom, Marina, had been acting different all day. Not her usual controlling self, not exactly. More precise, like everything had to go exactly as planned. "Wear something nice," she told me. "Don't interrupt. And Lena, Just let me handle the conversation. That last part stuck with me. Let me handle it? Since when did she care about what I said at dinner? Then the guests arrived. Ethan Hale, mid-40s, calm in a way that didn't feel friendly, more like he was studying everything. Clara Hale, polite, quiet, but tense. Like she didn't want to be there, but couldn't leave. And me? I felt like I was being observed. Not included, not welcomed. Observed. Every time I tried to speak, my mom would gently cut in, redirect, answer for me. So, Lena's been doing really well in school. She doesn't stay out late. She's very disciplined. It didn't feel like a conversation. It felt like a presentation. And then Ethan started asking questions. Weird ones. How does she handle stress? Any history of fatigue? Does she ever complain about focus or memory? I remember laughing awkwardly. I mean, I'm normal? But no one laughed back. Clara's eyes dropped to my hands, watching them, tracking every movement. That should have been the moment I pushed back, asked what was going on, stood up and left. But I didn't, because my mom was smiling, and when she smiles like that, it usually means she's already decided something. Then came the water. Simple, normal. A glass she handed me herself. Drink, she said casually. And I did. But I remember it now, the taste. Slightly bitter. Just enough to notice, not enough to question. And now here I was, unable to move, unable to speak, listening to strangers argue over me like I wasn't even there. She needs help, Clara whispered again, more urgently this time. No, my mom said, quieter now, tighter. She doesn't. Doesn't. My vision flickered, dark around the edges. My heart started pounding harder, too fast, too uneven. Something was very wrong. And then, the man stepped closer, closer than anyone else had dared. I felt his presence right beside me as he crouched down, his voice low but intense. What did you give her? And this time, no one answered. What did you give her? The question hung in the air, and for the first time that night, no one had control of the room. Not even my mom. You could feel it shift, that invisible balance, like whatever quiet, controlled plan had been running up until now just cracked wide open. And then I saw it. Fear. Not in the guests, not in me, in her. My mom didn't move, didn't speak, but her eyes, locked on the man, flickered with something I had never seen before. Uncertainty. Who was he? He didn't wait for an answer. He stepped in closer, faster now, dropping beside me. One hand lifted my chin slightly, the other pressing against my wrist, checking my pulse. His movements were practiced, clinical. Not guessing. Knowing. Lena, can you hear me? He said, low and direct. I wanted to answer, I really did, but my body still wouldn't cooperate. So I blinked. Once. Slow. It was enough. His jaw tightened. Yeah, she can hear us, he said, mostly to the others. That's not good. Not good? What does that even mean? His fingers moved to my eyelids, briefly lifting one, shining a small light across my pupil. His expression changed instantly. Not confusion, not concern. Calculation. Then, quiet but sharp enough to slice through the room. This dosage is wrong. Dosage. There it was again. Not an accident, not random. A decision. My heart started racing. Not from whatever was happening in my body, but from the realization catching up to me. This was done to me. On purpose. You said it was adjusted, Ethan snapped, his calm finally cracking. You said it was safe. It was under controlled conditions, the man shot back. Not like this, not at this volume. Volume? My thoughts stumbled over the word. How much did they give me? What was this supposed to do? Clara stood up fully now, panic bleeding through. This wasn't the plan. She's not responding right. Plan. They keep saying that. Like I'm not sitting right here. Like I'm not the one they're talking about. Then fix it, Ethan said, more aggressive now. That's what you're here for. The man, Dr. Kessler, I heard someone say his name, looked at him like he'd just said something stupid. This isn't a switch you flip, he said. You rushed it. And then, silence again. Because now, everyone was looking at my mom. Waiting. Blaming. And she just stood there, still. Like if she didn't move, didn't speak, she wouldn't have to admit anything. But Dr. Kessler didn't look away. Marina, he said, firm now. What did you give her? A long pause. Too long. And then, finally, it was the only way. The only way? The only way for what? My chest tightened again, sharper this time. My breathing hitched, uneven, shallow. Something was getting worse. Fast. Dr. Kessler noticed immediately. His focus snapped back to me. Okay, no, we're done, he muttered, pulling out his phone. I'm calling this in. Calling? Good. Finally. But just as he started dialing, Ethan stepped forward. Wait. One word. Heavy. Dangerous. You call anyone, Ethan said quietly, and this becomes a very different situation. Different how? Dr. Kessler didn't hesitate. He hit the call button anyway, and as the phone rang, my vision started collapsing in on itself. Darkness closing in, voices overlapping, sharp, urgent, no longer controlled, and just before everything went black, I heard Dr. Kessler say something that didn't make sense. Something that stuck. She's not ready. A pause. Then, lower. This could kill her. And the last thing I heard was my mom's voice. Quiet. Almost breaking. I know. Darkness. Not the peaceful kind. Not sleep. The kind where you're still there. Floating. Listening. Voices bled through first, distorted, overlapping, like I was underwater. Told you. Too early. Not stable yet. You said she'd be fine. Fine. That word again. It almost made me laugh, if I could have moved. Then something sharper cut through. Stay with me, Lena. Dr. Kessler. Closer now. Focused. Anchoring. And suddenly, just for a second, everything snapped into place. Sound. Thought. Awareness. I still couldn't move, but I could understand. And what I understood didn't make this better. It made it worse. This wasn't approved, Dr. Kessler said, his voice low but furious. Not like this. Not outside the facility. Facility? You said delays would cost us everything, Ethan fired back. We needed results. Results. That's what this was about. Not dinner, not me. Results. Clara's voice shook now. This isn't a presentation anymore. She's crashing. Crashing. My breathing hitched again, shallow and uneven, like my body was forgetting its own rhythm. Her nervous system is overloaded, Dr. Kessler snapped. I told you the trial phase wasn't complete. Trial. Phase. The words stacked together, heavy, undeniable. This wasn't just some random drug. This was an experiment, and I was the test. You signed off on this, Ethan pushed. Don't act like you're not involved. I signed off on controlled testing, Kessler shot back. With monitoring, with safeguards. Not this. Not me, not here, not like this. And through all of it, one person hadn't said a word. My mom. I forced my eyes to shift. It took everything I had. But I found her, standing near the edge of the room, arms at her sides, face pale. Still. Why wasn't she saying anything now? Earlier, she stopped them from helping me. Earlier, she said I was fine. So where was that confidence now? Marina, Clara said suddenly, voice tight, desperate. Say something. A long pause. Then, finally, I was trying to help her. Help me. My thoughts stumbled again. Help me how? She's capable of more, my mom continued, her voice steadier now, but hollow. You said this would unlock it. Focus, memory, performance. You said she'd have an advantage. Advantage. That's what this was about? School? My future? You weren't supposed to push the full dose, Kessler said sharply. She needed results, Ethan added. She's 17, Kessler snapped back. And there it was, everything laid out, not hidden anymore, not confusing, just real. My mom didn't deny it, didn't argue, didn't defend herself, because she couldn't, because it was true. My chest tightened again, but this time it wasn't just physical.
It hit deeper. She chose this. She chose this for me. Sirens, distant at first, then louder, cutting through everything. Kessler exhaled sharply. Good, they're close. Footsteps, movement, panic shifting direction. Ethan muttered something under his breath. Clara stepped back completely now. And my mom? She didn't move, didn't run, didn't speak. She just stood there, watching me, like she was seeing the outcome for the first time. And as the sound of sirens filled the air, one final thought pushed through the fog in my mind. If I survived this, nothing would ever be the same again. End of Chapter 3. Conclusion. 3 minutes. 400+ words. The first thing I felt was air. Cold, clean, steady. Not forced, not shallow. Just normal. And after everything that had happened, that alone felt unreal. Then came the weight of my body. Heavy but responsive. My fingers twitched slightly against the hospital sheet, and this time, they listened. I opened my eyes slowly. White ceiling, fluorescent lights. The quiet hum of machines. A hospital. So I didn't die. That was the first clear thought. The second? What did they do to me? Lena? My head turned slightly toward the voice. Dr. Kessler stood near the bed, arms crossed, expression serious, but calmer than before. You're stable, he said. You gave us a scare. Stable. The word landed differently this time. What happened? My voice came out weak, rough, but it worked. And this time, no one avoided the answer. You were given an experimental neurological compound, he said plainly. It's designed to enhance cognitive processing, focus, memory retention, reaction speed. Enhance. The same word my mom had believed in. It's not approved, he continued. Still in trial phases, strictly controlled environments only. A pause. Your dosage exceeded safe parameters. So that was it. Not random, not an accident. A decision. Pieces clicked together fast now. The questions at dinner, the watching, the water, the plan. They used me, I said quietly. It wasn't really a question. Kessler didn't soften it. Yes. Silence settled in, heavy, real. Then, she didn't mean to hurt you. My eyes shifted. My mom sat in the corner, smaller than I'd ever seen her, tired, pale, still. For the first time in my life, she didn't look in control. I studied her for a long second. All the answers were already there. So I asked the only thing that actually mattered. Why didn't you tell me? Her lips parted slightly, but nothing came out. No explanation, no justification, because there wasn't one that could fix this. And somehow, that was worse than anything she could have said. The consequences came fast, not quiet, not hidden, real. Dr. Kessler reported everything. The trial was immediately shut down. Authorities got involved because what happened wasn't just unethical. It was illegal. Ethan and Clara? They disappeared at first, then resurfaced under investigation as financial backers of an unauthorized human trial. Their company froze operations within days. And my mom? She lost everything she thought she was protecting. Custody, temporarily suspended. Her professional reputation, gone. Every decision she made that night followed her into the light. As for me, I stayed in the hospital for observation, more tests, more monitoring, making sure nothing permanent was left behind. Physically, I recovered, but that wasn't the hard part. The hard part was trust, because how do you go back to normal when the person who was supposed to protect you was the one who made the choice? A few weeks later, I sat at another dinner table. Different house, my aunt's place this time. Quieter, safer. No strangers, no tension, just normal conversation. A plate in front of me, a glass of water beside it. I stared at it for a second, not scared, just aware. Then I reached for it, picked it up, and took a sip. Nothing happened. No bitterness, no numbness, just water. Normal. And for the first time since that night, that was enough. I set the glass down gently. Because now, I decide what I take in. I decide what happens next. And no one, not even her, gets to make that choice for me again.